Making my gourmet mac and cheese.
Oh.
Gourmet. So we got some new kind of high-ender cheeses, and starting with one of my favorite ingredients. Obviously, mac and cheese and bacon go hand in hand.
They do.
But I'm using pancetta, which is a non-smoke but still cured, salty, peppery pork belly product. That's really great, especially diced, and we rendered out all that fat here in a nice large brazier, because we're going to use this to actually plate our mac and cheese in a little bit.
Trisha Yearwood would say, is that pancetta?
Pancetta, it is not.
Pancetta.
It's pancetta, but you can call it.
I say pancetta, man. What are you talking about?
Pancetta. All right, so we're gonna take this out. We're gonna reserve a tablespoon of that beautiful render fat in there to help, that looks like a tablespoon. I'm not even gonna take any more out of that. And to even make it more decadent, we are gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter and make a roux here.
What? Just excuse.
Do it.
Yeah, okay. I know there's nothing too fancy about butter, but I think mac and cheese needs butter in there.
It does, it does.
Sounds beautiful. And then we're gonna add flour and whisk this until it's nice and kind of blonde. I think not too dark with your roux for your mac and cheese, because we're making a white sauce here. Sonny, while I'm doing this, can you grate some cheese for me? I have some blue cheese, which adds a nice funk to it. We have some Gruyere and some Havarti, and this is grated Fontina.
Wow, fancy.
So you got creamy, you got funky, you got melty, and you got like aged and nutty. So it's like a beautiful combination of flavors. All right, once we kind of get this to the color we need, we're gonna add a couple more ingredients in here. Just a couple cloves of garlic grated on a rasp, and some Dijon mustard to give it some zip. And then we'll whisk that in, make sure that garlic cooks just ever so slightly. Perfect, I smell it. Then we got some whole milk. Not the 2%, the whole, Jeffrey.
Yeah, what's the point of, you know,
what's the point? I mean, we've got 4 cups of cheese. All right, so we're gonna bring this to a simmer, and then we're gonna add all our cheese. A little hot sauce in here, right?
Oh.
Hey, it's a lot. It's not a lot. Look at beautiful, gives it a nice little thing. We're gonna bring this to a simmer, right? It's gonna thicken up, like all of our great sauces do. Now we can add the mac and cheese in our warm bechamel right here.
Yeah,
so we got our, remember, we got our a little bit of blue cheese, some grated Fontina, great silky, really easily melty cheese, some Gruyere, which is that nuttiness, and Havarti, which again is nice little aged, beautiful flavor.
That's
all white.
I like your cheese to sauce ratio.
Well, hey, you know.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna complain.
Cheese, please.
Every little bit. Sonny, you did so much work grating that cheese.
Thank you.
I don't want to leave any soldiers left behind here.
Go, go, gadget elbow.
Now we can start just kind of folding this in till it melts. There's no need to cook this any further. This just needs to heat up until you see it starting to string and everything. And that's when you want to start seasoning too, because remember, if you season before you add the cheese, you don't know how salty your cheese is going to be once it melts in there, and it could be very salty. So look at this, beautiful. We got some heat going. Okay, here we go. So now we got a big bowl of slightly undercooked, super al dente cavatappi pasta. Right. You can use any macaroni you want for this. I just love this. It looks fun. It catches a lot of that sauce. It's very resilient pasta, so when we do bake it in a minute, it's not gonna overcook in the oven.
Dare I say?
But look at that.
Cavatappi in the building.
Cavatappi in the building, baby. Look at that. All of that's going in. All of it. Get every inch of that in there.
Scallions. That was crazy.
Beautiful. So now we're gonna mix this up and put it back into our brazier here, right?
Okay,
you can use a 9x14, you can use whatever you got, but I like to just kind of kiss this in a little. It doesn't need too much heat in there. We just want all that cheese to melt and kind of homogeneously marry each other. And then we can top it with just that pancetta, which is crispy, but still a little under like super crispy. It'll finish up in the oven. You know what I'm gonna do, actually?
Get it.
While it's in there, a little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt, too. Season it a little more. Beautiful. You know, I see you salivating over there. It's kind of embarrassing, but my goal in life is to impress you with the, the normal stuff, Jeffrey.
I like that you use a beautiful, gorgeous bowl to mix it before you.
I know. I thought
That's very
was a serving
impressive.
bowl.
Yeah.
I know you didn't think it was going to fit in here. We're going to smooth it out. And then we are going to top it with that pancetta, which we just kind of let drain. And all of it. All of it. All of it. This is gonna give us a little more fat, a little more decadence, and of course, texture, which I think mac and cheese needs. Especially if I'm not like baking an entire half-inch crust of cheese on the top. So it's going in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes, right? Just so it all comes together and that pancetta crisps up even more. I got one ready to go right here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You dropped it. You dropped it.
Look at that pancetta.
A little minced chives for some extra color. And a little
get some
pop
vegetables.
a little vegetable. You gotta eat your greens.
Eat your greens.
You gotta eat your greens. Now we can serve it up here. All right. Sonny, you will do the
beautiful.
honors, but let's see
Sonny's
what
lucky.
we're looking like.
Yeah.
Ooh. Slow-mo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Slow-mo
Is it a
Joe.
spoon or is it a fork? This is
I don't know. I would say just use your hands, man.
It's gotta be, it can't be too wet, mac cheese. I don't like wet mac cheese.
No, and I don't like dry
You
mac and
don't?
cheese.
No, it's a balance there, right? You gotta be very...
I like it soupy sometimes, you know, and then sometimes I just want it like
Really, I just won't
you want to
say no
slice
to
into
any
it
of
like
it.
a
Yeah.
well-rested lasagna, but this is a nice middle ground of like a wet and a really nice, tight, if you will, and cheesy mac and
Oh,
cheese.
man alive. Look at that.
It's so nice because the blue cheese doesn't smack you in the
Some
face
chives.
the way that you think it would. It just comes through with that thing that blue cheese does. It's got that kind of like tinny, bitter, you know, thing that's happening in here that goes so well with the creamy cheese sauce that would be excellent as a fondue cheese. And then you get those little crispy nuggets of salty, piggy goodness over the top. Here, oh, that's funny? Okay. It's good.
Let's make our Parmesan croutons for the wrap. Now we're gonna make these small enough, very bite-sized, so when we wrap it with the chicken and the lettuce and the dressing, each bite will have a little bit of crunch in there, and that comes from these croutons. So I'm using a day-old baguette here. Perfect for crouton making. Right into a sheet pan here. Shake it, even it out. Stream some olive oil in there. You can do the thumb deal, because we are keeping it light. I don't wanna put too much on here. Some grated Parmesan cheese, making it rain, like a Tuscan sun shower. Salt and pepper, to taste, just a little bit. All right, these go in the oven at 375 for about 15 minutes till they're golden brown. So these are gonna go great in our chicken Caesar wrap, which I have my chicken right here. It has been marinating all night in olive oil, lemon juice, lemon zest, and just garlic, keeping it healthy and lean. We got my grill pan nice and hot. Want to develop some color on that, but make sure it cooks all the way through. It's already smelling great in here. We didn't use any salt or pepper in our marinade, so now we can season the exterior directly. And these will go about 12 minutes aside, so there's no more pink in the center. Or at about 165, 170 on your instant read thermometer. Let's make the sour cream Caesar dressing. All right, so let's start with a cup of low-fat sour cream. Next, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard for that extra special tang. Another must ingredient to have in any Caesar is Parmesan. So we'll do about 2 tablespoons of this, 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. Right, gives that nice meaty quality to your Caesar. I love me some Worcestershire. Let's do 1 whole garlic clove, zested right in there. The juice from a half a lemon. All right, did you hear that? It's starting to change noise. That means it's time to do fancy turns. There we go. Perfect, see? One last ingredient to my sour cream Caesar is an anchovy. Don't be scared. When I put this anchovy in there, you're not gonna really taste fishiness. You're not gonna taste the anchovy. But if I didn't put it in there, you'll definitely taste that something is missing in the Caesar. So we're just gonna mash it with the fork, put it right in there. We can get all this incorporated. Now that's perfect. That's what I'm talking about, see? Still dripping juice, we weren't prodding it. Now we can flip it. Oh yeah. All right, our grilled chicken has a chance to rest. Slice it nice and thin. Look at that, perfectly cooked, juicy. Very good. Oh man, smoky, lemony, little garlicky. Let's use romaine, it's the obvious choice for any good Caesar. We cut ours a little smaller here, bite-sized pieces. Some quartered cherry tomatoes. Don't forget our croutons. And of course our homemade sour cream Caesar. Nice and light, but very, very flavorful. Now Caesar salad is like the one wrap I like to combine all the ingredients first and then put it in the wrap just to make sure every crouton, every piece of chicken, every tomato, every little shred of lettuce has a bit of love from that sour cream Caesar on it. I like the element of fresh, sun-dried tomato tortillas combined with the Caesar, plus the beautiful color. It's like a full moon, and I'm changing into a werewolf. There we go. Now we can take our tossed salad, put it right in the middle, make sure we get some croutons, some tomatoes, evenly spread across. Don't overstuff this, and if this is your first time doing a wrap, start small, all right? Get the mechanics of wrapping a sandwich. Sides go in first. Then we do the double thumb turnover toppage method. Now this is the tricky part. You wanna keep it tight, and then with your little pinky fingers, kind of get those in there, you see? Tightly roll, and leave right there. That's a wrap. There's nothing heavy in it. The chicken's very tender, and I taste the lemon and the Parmesan, even that little bit of anchovy in our sour cream Caesar. Extra juicy skirt steak fajitas, and I'm gonna show you guys a cool, easy trick that'll give you that sizzling wow factor you can do right at home, starting with some great skirt steak right here. Jeffrey,
beautiful.
you love this stuff.
I do.
I love it. When you go to the butcher, when you go to the grocery store, it is imperative you ask for outside skirt steak, not the inside skirt. Outside is way more tender, way more marbled, just succulent, beefy, but the inside skirt can get a little chewy. So ask for this, right? But of course, like you take that bite of that sizzling fajita at a restaurant, and every bite is juicy and full of marinade. So let's start with the marinade here. I have some olive oil. We're gonna add to this little restaurant secret to a marinade that you wouldn't expect in a Mexican dish, soy sauce.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So, some fresh lime juice. Jeffrey, can you help me with my peppers right there?
How do you want to cut?
Poblano, just in a nice thicker strips, right? Not thick, but like, you know, half-inch, quarter-inch strips. Cut a poblano and a nice red bell pepper and some onions. I'll ask for you in a bit. So we got the soy sauce in there, some cumin, some chili powder, some fresh lime juice, and some salt. We're gonna whisk this up. I got a zipper top bag here. We're gonna pour that directly in the bag, but we are gonna reserve some of this marinade for a little trick later, okay? And that has the oil in there and everything. Remember, the soy sauce, just a little bit. The rest can go in a zipper top bag. Now we're gonna take that beautiful outside skirt steak, and this has been cut into thirds, so it's just easier to manage, right? This way you can kind of cook it appropriately, but look at that beautiful marbling. Into the marinade, about 30 minutes in the fridge, up to 2 hours, okay? Move it around in that bag. All right, get the air out and just make sure you move it all around. Put it in the fridge, and what you wanna do after marinating it, again, 30 minutes, 2 hours, take it out, dry it, put it on a wire rack sheet pan in the fridge for up to 2 hours to help dry it out. That's another restaurant secret trick. That's how you get that char on there without a grill, without charcoals, all done in that cast iron. But that's what it looks like after drying out, after marinating, right? We're gonna hit it with just a little more salt. I have a cast iron skillet going right here, piping hot. You can see the wisp of smoke coming off it. Then you know it's ready. We're just gonna hit it with just a little salt, and it is going right in that pan. On the top side down, that's gonna be the driest. So in these 3 sections right here, press it down once and just let it rip for a couple minutes, right? We'll do 2 at a time here. Keep that one for later. Again, a whole skirt steak can feed 4 people at least. That's the beauty of this, because we're fortifying it, we're bulking it up with these lovely peppers, which I'm gonna throw in there. So this is the leftover fat and the rendered fond and all that stuff in this cast iron right here. So what we're gonna do is throw the onions in there. Oh. Those beautifully
Look at that, beautifully even poblanos. And a lot of times it's just red bell peppers, green bell peppers, yellow bell. I like the flavor that the poblano brings, a little extra spice.
You cook the steaks in that pan, right?
Yes.
And that's a leftover fat in the steak.
That's a leftover fat and oil and, you know, all the little juicy fond bits, right? We're gonna hit this pretty hard. We want a nice char on there, but you don't wanna like turn them into mush, right? You want them to have a little, you know, little chew to them. And this is what it looks like. I'm gonna turn that on. Is that on, Jeffrey?
I would
Good.
turn on
We
a
need
little
our
bit more.
sizzle platter.
Let's get that thing screaming. They look great, Jeff.
I got my sizzle platter ready to go.
It's
I got
hot.
my rested steak, and we're gonna cut this. Now, a lot of times you go to the restaurants, and they cut it with the grain, which I don't like. You shouldn't do that. Even though it's kind of, if you follow the striations of the meat, it's like almost counterintuitive to cut a fajita like this, but you should cut it like you would a strip steak or a ribeye. So what I like to do is cut those long sections in half, and then kind of just go diagonally. And you want to cook this to medium. I think medium rare skirt steak can get a little chewy. I think medium is perfect.
Agree with you, Jeff, for once.
But you got to have that char
You
on
want me to
there.
turn that for you, Jeff?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
All right, look at that. Can you see that?
This is a shout out to my favorite Mexican joint.
I love
my,
Maria's.
My neighborhood called Maria's, and the Braglia boys that been running them for 30 years, and their mom, Maria. And it's like the typical place where you can't even hear yourself talk half the time because of the sizzling hot fajitas coming out of the kitchen. I love it. All right, that's looking very good, right? We're gonna season that.
So colorful, right?
Right? Little salt and pepper. Our steak is sliced. And that's all you want. You want some life in those peppers still, some color.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Look at that.
Man, you gotta be...
All right, it's time. It's time to plate. Now again, if you're serving for a table at home, by all means, serve it directly in the cast iron here. No need to.
Well, look
But if
at
you
them
got these
sizzle,
little
baby.
You see them sizzling? Now you asked, how do you get that sizzle to happen right before they serve it, right? Because it's always super piping hot. There's a little trick, and that's why we reserved that marinade a little bit ago. But I like to kind of keep it just like that. Right?
Oh,
so the
baby.
peppers are still cooking on the bottom, but you're not overcooking the meat. Since we rested that, we're gonna shake up that leftover reserve marinade. And right before we bring it to the table, we hit it with the sizzle sauce.
Ready to go, Jeff? Oh. Let's go!
Coming through!
Oh, we got a little table-side service.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I expect a large tip.
Ooh, sizzle,
Steak fajitas?
sizzle.
Yes, steak fajitas, we ordered them.
Beautiful.
Ladies, please, do not touch the sizzling hot cast iron skillet. It is
Don't
very
say.
warm.
I love the process of building the
Okay.
fajita when you get it.
Yep. Hit me
All
with
right,
some jalapenos.
Yes, of course.
Bon appetit.
You gotta have the, you know, either whole or sliced pickled jalapenos and carrots and onions.
How is that?
Can I reach over?
Tastes exactly like any Tex-Mex style restaurant. Well, here we go.
You cut it right. So when you bite into it, you get what you bit off. Do you know what I'm saying? Not the entire strip of the fajita. I know my friends in San Antonio would tear this right up, man. It's tender, it's juicy.
It's a crowd pleaser, my ultimate no-bake chocolate peanut butter pie. Starting with the filling. But this is another little cheat, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Yeah.
We already got the pie crust.
Oh,
already.
yeah.
So we didn't have to ground up anything or bake off anything or blind bake anything. Store-bought graham cracker pie crust.
Okay.
Would be any easier. Let's start with the filling, okay? Here I already whipped up some cream, just heavy whipping cream, nice cold bowl to stiff peaks with some confectioner sugar and a little bit of vanilla. We'll get to that in a second. In here, some room temp cream cheese.
Yes.
Room temp, you can't rush that. Some creamy peanut butter. I tried this with the chunky, it doesn't work. You need the creamy stuff, okay? This gives you a plenty of sugar and sweetened too. Plus we kind of alter, there's about 3/4 of a cup of confectioner sugar in the whipped cream too. So this will be sweet enough. And a little more vanilla, and we're gonna beat this on medium for about 2 to 3 minutes. We wanna incorporate a lot of air into this. So it's a nice airy.
We're going to sing a song. So we're gonna whip this beautifully, right? It's gonna go. Let's talk about our peanut butter sauce, which we got right here. Very easy to do, stuff you have in your pantry. Obviously peanut butter, sweetened condensed milk, a little vanilla, and a little water. Just judging on how thick the peanut butter is, you might need to thin it out. All right, this is looking good. Now we wanna incorporate the whipped cream into that carefully. Let's move this. Got that going. And then I got this here. I don't think anybody wants this. So I'm gonna
What?
put
Are you done with it? I'll take
You
it.
sure?
Okay,
Yeah.
scrape it back in.
Yeah, I was gonna put it in the.
No, man.
Wait,
Oh, hey,
Okay. Oh,
hey.
there you go. Pass it down.
Pass it.
If Jeffrey puts the whole paddle in his mouth, I swear.
I'll donate $1,000 to your
just
favorite
the whole world.
charity.
It would be the sign of the apocalypse, right? You could see it. It got light in color, nice and airy. Now we want to take our whipped cream, which we kept in that cold bowl.
It's good because we need sugar.
Yeah, it does. It needs sugar.
So what you do is you use, you know, this a lot of people don't know that this little kind of tip of a rubber spatula actually serves as a function. When you are folding, especially stuff you just whipped, you take that tip and you kind of turn it in, turn the bowl, and flip it over, right? You don't want to sit there and like grind it in. So you just take it, it's there for a reason. You want to carefully, without losing all those pockets of air we spent all that time whipping into it. Look how pretty that is. And right when it's like almost incorporated,
Do it.
mini peanut butter cookie.
You're crazy.
So what we did is just use the minis. You can get the full-size ones.
You get more peanut butter in it.
I mean, to me, there's nothing better.
And you go the day after the holiday and they're 50% off.
That's right.
So
Save
the
us some
day
money.
after the holiday, they're just as
Yeah.
fresh as the day before. So we got those peanut butter cups in there, our no-bake, pre-made graham cracker pie crust. So we are gonna, look at that, beautiful. You see all, I mean,
Gee
this with
whiz.
a spoon in the couch, binging on some shows, like The Kitchen,
Do it.
right? Goes all in there. I mean, just the smell alone. Put that to the side. Right, we're gonna kind of spread it out without getting any on the rim of the crust. Just be careful with this. Now this is gonna go set up in the fridge a little bit, just to kind of harden up. So I got one ready to go. And we are not done. There are more elements. So look at that. That's what it looks like.
Bring it.
We are not done. Next is that peanut butter sauce we talked about earlier. Move it around a little bit. Let it cool. You don't want to put this too hot on there. You just want it, you know,
Oh, come
streamable,
on,
as I say, right?
Jeff.
And we are going to get pollock with this.
I'm
Right?
not just watered.
That's
It's happening.
all right. Get it. Go get
Don't
a
be
nice spoonful
stingy.
and
Don't be
starts to
stingy.
stream and then transfer. Look at that. And I want to do it all one way. All one way. I'm not crisscrossing here because
Not
you
going
know.
crisscross?
Right? Now, magic chocolate sauce.
Do it. Do it.
Okay, try some.
He's so shy.
All right, so you want to do a little, you can always put this in a bowl, but some of these have different nozzles on them. Same thing, right? Drizzle. And this is gonna, there we go. Beautiful, and that's gonna harden once it hits that chilled pie filling there. And we're not done. Roasted, salted peanuts.
Jeez.
Mini chocolate chips. And these are gonna kind of provide a nice little border around, just on the edge there.
Jeff, yeah, make it cute.
I just wanted to make it cute and pretty,
Yeah.
because that's what I am. Things never
I
said to
think
Jeff,
Jeff-
you're pretty cute and pretty.
Cute and pretty.
I just get, you look a lot younger and thinner in person.
That's right. We all look
we all
fatter
do.
on TV.
And there it is, perfect for a weekend dessert, a treat. Congratulate ourselves on such a job well done.
It looks good, Jeff.
All right. Oh, hot water knife. Oh boy. Oh boy. Listen to that.
I mean, I love a no-bake pie. I really do. You know what I'm saying? No need to heat up the kitchen.
you could even like feasibly put this in the freezer, right?
Yeah.
Bring it wherever you're going. It's perfect. All right. I'm giving it to you, Jeffrey. Because I know how much you love that pie. That sweet, sweet peanut butter pie.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
It looks rich.
Jeff, you never made me a piece of pie.
Do it justice, GZ. Yeah? I'm going in. Can I just pick it up like a pizza or what?
Yeah. It just tastes nothing like you would think it would taste. It is so light. And you know what the key to this is? You get the peanut, but also there's this salty quality. And I mean, it's a perfect consistency. It's just the right temperature. Then you reach one of those peanut butter cups and you get that
Crazy.
splash of peanut butter chocolate. If this is your first cake, I want another one.
I'm gonna make tonight my crispy tortilla pizza and saving salad, okay? Pizza and salad. Who doesn't love a good
I love
salad?
salad.
Katie, I need you to kind of chop that iceberg, right? Which I think
Okay.
is the...
I love iceberg.
It is like the most underrated vegetable in the vegetable kingdom.
I love iceberg lettuce.
Yeah.
And Katie told me a little tidbit here about...
Everybody
so-
thinks that there's no health value in iceberg lettuce. I had to investigate because I like it so much. It actually has vitamin K.
What is that? No idea.
Which is hard to find, apparently. And it has lecithin, which helps fight cellulite.
I think it's 93% water,
so
from what they say.
I just want the crunch. I love the crunch.
Great with the creamy dressing. So we got some blue cheese dressings, we got some tomatoes, so just throw all that in there. I'll get to that in a second, but let's start with this tortilla. Store-bought, very inexpensive and affordable. Flour tortilla. I put a little olive oil in a non-stick skillet.
You can use
over
corn.
about. You can use corn oil,
Gluten-free.
whatever, but I've used a very, very little amount. But what this is gonna do is start frying this, right? To create
No.
that crispy bottom, like almost tavern-style pizza crust that I love.
Oh, boy.
Next comes our tomatoes. Thinly sliced beefsteak tomatoes. We're gonna put a couple of those and we're gonna build this in the hot pan.
No,
I got
I
my
wanna know
broiler
something,
going.
Jeff.
This is not only cheap, but it's quick.
Is this
Yes.
like a slender Chicago-style pizza in the pan?
Well, no, this is like a tavern-style Chicago crust, thin crust people. The pizza that real Chicagoans eat. We eat the deep dish stuff once a year.
I want to know
Good to
something.
know.
Is this one pizza for 4 people?
No, this recipe actually makes 4 pizzas.
Oh, that's
So this is
Okay,
just for
okay.
me.
Beautiful.
You guys can all go have a granola bar
All right,
in the
I
back.
feel better now because
All right,
I
me
need that
too.
whole pizza to myself.
So I just added some caramelized onions. We did them low and slow on the stove top, right? We just don't disturb them, don't stir them too much, don't salt them, let those sugars develop. Next come the cheese.
What kind of cheese?
We got whole milk mozzarella from the block,
Oh,
which
I
is
like
more
that.
affordable, that we grated ourselves. No anti-caking agents, and we're going to the edge.
Oh, you're doing a
so
little Chicago.
all that cheese drips down and creates even more pleasurable, crispy, lacy, crackery cheese crust.
That's the best bite.
I love that.
And you could throw all that in there too.
Oh,
So
okay.
we just got some fresh tomatoes from the ends of the sliced tomatoes and some crispy bacon.
That's
Or
a
you could just
really
throw-
good save, the tomato scraps.
Exactly.
And
Put
this
it in your
feels like
salad.
a pizzeria salad. The
Yeah.
iceberg, it's what you get. You might even put it on your pizza.
And you need that creamy
Can I dress
dressing too.
this? Can I put a lot
Yeah, go ahead, dress it. That's just a good blue cheese dressing. And you can use
Ooh.
spicy or sweet Italian sausage. This is a nice combo. I like the both. But again, one link is enough for 4 pizzas with this. Now it's going in the broiler,
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
all right, where it's gonna hit the top of that, make it all gooey. So I've had one broiling for a couple minutes in the bottom here. And since we started it in the pan, we got a crispy crust and perfectly bubbly golden brown top.
Beautiful.
With a pizza, because we use that nonstick, look at that. Slides right out. Do you
Wow,
see
that was so easy.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Look at the bottom.
that?
Can you see the bottom?
Gorge.
that? Let me see
Get a
that.
shot of the bottom. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. You see that?
That is joyous.
That's because we
Oh,
started
yeah.
a little bit of oil in the bottom pan right there.
And that cheese.
And that cheese all the way around. You see the lacy
That's
edge of
that
that?
good stuff.
That's what the kids want these days, right? I don't know if they want omelets. All right. Katie, it is time, right? And this is an individual pizza for one. So I'm gonna cut it in quarters.
By the way, you know what I might do with this? I might put the iceberg in the freezer and do an icy cold lettuce
Look at
salad.
you, I love it.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you again.
Nothing like
Hold my
brisket.
salad bowl.
This is a 1 portion for me. It's my trough salad.
The salad? Yeah.
This is, nobody's going hungry here at the dinner table tonight. And you get your veggies and your protein
That's
and your
beautiful.
calcium.
Jeff, what does this cost?
This, I don't know. We're about to find out. Let me plate you one, Sir Jeffrey.
I absolutely love the sausage on there. I love the textures. I love the juiciness of the iceberg. And then we go to the richness of the cheese. It's hot and cold. Sort of like a fancy French restaurant. A little chaud froid, hot, cold thing going on.